Oh my God, I'm alive and YouTube has not messed up. Good morning, everybody. It is, what is it, May or April 24th. Good Lord, I got the wrong month. April 24th, 2023. I am Road to Recovery. And this morning I am going to be talking about anything guys want to talk about. I'm opening up super early today. Normally I do my Monday morning chats at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'm gonna run out of time today. I know I am, so I decided to launch a little early. I'm just gonna, do a quick chat today, and when we'll end it, if somebody comes on, fine. This is your opportunity if you want to chat about anything that is porn addiction or porn addiction recovery related. Feel free to just drop me a chat down below. You alternatively can reach out to me on Twitter. I try to review DMs as much as possible, and you could also email me at road to recovery 11 at yahoo.com. It's road the number two recovery, the number 11 at yahoo.com. I am still looking for somebody who wants to do an interview. I'm looking for somebody with 3 years of sobriety. And I just kind of want to talk about the whole recovery trip. So if you're one of those people and you're listening to this, feel free to drop me a line, man. I'd like to hear from you. And if you're down for doing a interview, I can do blurs. I can do voice distortions. We'll do anything that's possible. And the cool thing about doing an interview with me is that I will not publish anything until you've had a chance to see the entire interview. And once you had the chance to look it over, and I apologize, my cat is in here. Actually, it's not my cat; it's somebody I'm cat sitting for, but is running around here meowing because he's hungry. Um, and we don't have any food. I got to go do that next. Anyway, so yeah, if you'd like to do an interview with me, drop me a line, and we'll go ahead and get that up. And the sole purpose of doing this, of course, is to allow other people who are in the process of recovery to see what success may look like. So drop me a line. Love to have you on. All right, this morning, like I said, I'm going to keep it short and brief. I just want to talk about some news articles and some things I'm going through right now. Let's make that the first thing because it's easy for me to talk about it. One of the things I've been going through is I decided to get on a diet. I'm going to be going on vacation uh, sometime in midsummer, and I decided my fat ass really needed to lose some weight. And I was really good about keeping up my gym routine for the longest time, and then winter hit, and where I live, it gets kind of cold out, and it's unmotivating for me to leave the house, and so I wasn't doing that for a while, and I was still keeping up with the rest of it, but the gym was not doing so great. So getting back into things, I'm trying to get morning jogs going on in my morning. But the big thing, because I am an addict, is that I tell other people this, like, your addiction tends to want to find other things, right? When we say that addiction is a disease, what that really means is that you have an addictive personality, and sex is an easy thing to seize onto, especially with like pornography, because you not it's not only just the dopamine. It's I think with the addict brain, we tend to perhaps produce a little bit more dopamine than the average Joe. And so that the learning process really gets seized in right away. And, we get into this crazy habit loop faster than other people would. But in general, when we talk about an addictive personality, um, it's a trait. Addictive personalities are a trait. So we seized on to pornography, the people who are in this space right now. But I would say a vast majority of the people I've talked to in various programs, there's something else. There's always something else that they seize onto as well. It's not just this thing. And so you have to kind of watch that. And for me, my personality likes, I love food. I am such a foodie, man. And I've been lucky that I have um, the genetic makeup of a person who can quickly burn through food. I'm that guy that could go to the all you could eat buffet and destroy it and still stay the same body weight. Well, as I've gotten older, yeah, just wait, you got younger guys, you'll find out soon. As I've gotten older, my body has been less prone to being able to burn off the calories like it used to be, and I've got to work a little harder now, right? And so this luxury that's carried with me all of my life is starting to slow down, And me being able to lean into my food like what I normally do is it's not as easy anymore. So anyway, long story short, I went on a relatively low carb. I try to cut carbs out of my life as much as possible, and I noticed something interesting happened. Something interesting happened. I was observing my personality because these days, because I'm in recovery, I'm a lot more observant on how I'm feeling at current moment. And I noticed that my impulsiveness has gone down, which is a good thing. But just noticing it, like having the capacity to notice that my impulsiveness has gone down, it's really interesting. Like there's a way that this diet is affecting me. And the other thing that I noticed was that my energy levels throughout the day kind of do this thing. But right now, it seems like I'm at a very even keel. Let's see, we got some chats coming in. Oh yeah, sorry about that, Jay Aaron. I hope everything's if you're okay, I hope you're doing well. Tampa Bay all day. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, that's my home team. And I'm one of those old schoolers. I remember I was back in the throw Ray and the day base. Sorry for all of you other NFL fans out there, but yeah, I was back before they had the Super Bowls and when it was a really miserable team and still sticking through it. And yeah. This right here is perseverance, and I think there's a few other franchises that could probably attest, like the Detroit Lions fans. Whew, oh, you guys got it rough. Um, yeah, but we persevered and we made it through a few Super Bowls. But hail, um, yeah, where was I? So anyway, yeah, this diet thing's been pretty interesting, man, and I think it's actually been positively contributing to I'd say a good work life balance right now. So I'm gonna keep pushing the course, and hopefully by the time I get on vacation, when I get on vacation, man, things are gonna fly. I'm gonna just go have at it and you know eat and have fun. But until I get to that point, I'm really enjoying this ride because I think there's something in this perseverance that's revealing aspects about my personality that are really enjoyable. Oh, okay. Sorry, Jared. I thought you were on an ambulance. Oh, well, good for you, man. I'm glad to see somebody out there is doing something, positive for the community, and I'm sure that's, I've had a few friends that both worked in fire department and EMT, and I do the ride-alongs with them when I was a younger person, and man, every single day is chaos for a person that's in that life, and I can really appreciate what you must be going through on a day-to-day basis. I know you've seen some shit. Anyway, where was I talking about? Oh yeah, Imager. I wanted to quickly cover some news stuff. Like I said, I gotta keep it quick today because I got a lot of things going on. Imager, man, banned porn. Um, that was really interesting to see. Um, it's really bizarre to see these services like one by one, they're starting to kind of realize that they don't want to deal with this crap anymore. And but I say crap, it's not like a moralistic standard. It's just like there's so much that comes along um, with just having to host like pornography and having to police it all the time. And now with all the laws that are getting passed, which is the other thing, big thing in the news, Mississippi just passed their age requirement laws. So like if you're hosting anything right now, like you're hosting content, all of a sudden you got liability on your plate, and that liability matters. To these corporations who are trying to monetize, and what you guys need to know from a hosting standpoint, because I kind of work in this space. um, it used to be that this was big money. Like the people who had the hardware early on in the game, regardless of what you were hosting, whatever content you were hosting, doesn't matter if it was pornography. They had not a monopoly, but they had a lot on their plate. Like they were taking the place of sort of the legacy industries, like press and magazines and news and that sort of thing, and they were competing against that dollar, and that dollar back then was really high. Like you making 17 to 20% profit at the end of the year for these businesses was standard, and they were still complaining about it. And when hosting companies started out, they were fighting for pennies. And then all of a sudden, when the tables flipped, then there was all this money that was out there. There was tons of money by these hosting companies, and everyone was going after your attention. And because more and more competition started happening, the ad revenue rate started going down. And so now these guys are back to fighting for pennies again. And when something happens, like a legislative action, and then all of a sudden inheriting liability, this could be for big money, and they're really concerned about it. So you're going to start seeing, in my opinion, but I think this is accurate opinion, you're going to start seeing more and more and more companies starting to cut this out because of the liability concerns. So what this means is that there's going to be more and more layers between the average person and being able to access pornography. Of course, there's always going to be like services like OnlyFans and things like that, but um, you know, some of the free stuff that's been lingering out there for years and years, for like 20 years now, all that's going to start vaporizing soon. And it's just a matter of time, man. Europe's already, dialed it in. United States seems to be going piece by piece, so it's all out there. Oh yeah, thank you, Matthew. Sorry, I just looked back at the chat again. Yes, thank you. Pleasure to do this, man. It's always happy to help other people out. And if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, like leave them below, and I can address them while I'm still online. Oh, I wanted to do a shout out to Exodus Cry. Those guys have been doing a damn good job. Benjamin over there, if you're early in recovery, I would recommend not watching that video series. But if you've got like, some time under your belt and you want to start really bolting on to your why I shouldn't be looking at this, starting to really cognitively understand that there's an impact to consuming pornography that's beyond just your ability to being able to handle it, but you're actually actively contributing to the harm of others. Their series, I think it was Benjamin Naplot is the guy who's running the show over at Exodus Cry, and he was the producer of that series, Hardcore, as well as some other interesting things on pornography. But despite the fact that Benjamin does have like his own personal viewpoint is religious in nature, he has what I would say is a very um, a neutral approach to his video making. Like he's just trying to open up the conversation, and he just asks questions. That's all he does when he sets up these videos. And the horrible shit that comes out of the producers' mouths of some of these people that produce pornography, it makes you really start to second guess, like, dude, do I really want to pay this dude money? I mean, even if you're not actively paying, like when you're looking at a video online, in one way or another, it's going back into the hands of these publishers and these producers. Um, do you want to be contributing to any of that? And this is what Exodus Cry has been really, doing. They're opening the eyes up of people, like, these are the assholes who are producing this content. Like these are the people who are that we're putting our trust in and producing entertainment, and they're horrible people. They're horrible people. So stop it, right? Stop doing that because you're contributing to these people producing more and more content. And some of the stuff that came out of Max Hardcore's mouth, I mean, geez, dude. Um, yeah, like I said, if you're early on in recovery, don't watch it because there's probably some triggering content in there. But if you think you can handle it, man, like go actually like watch some of those videos. It's really good stuff. Anyway, um, a tribute to Exodus Cry. They got a write up in the Toronto Star yesterday, and it was a really good write up. So I kind of appreciate what they've done and contributing to. In my opinion, they're actually helping people who are porn addicts get a broader understanding of things. I produced my own video where I was talking about the harms of pornography, thinking about it from a broad perspective. And I think having a perspective like that, once you can start to park the habit forming process, just park that for a second and just look at a broader perspective of like damage that's being caused to other people because of your consumption, there can be some motivation that will help you, like, yeah, do I want to keep doing this? It's not just about me, it's about other people. Anyway, how do you find that series? Go to they actually have a Hang on, see if I can do it. They actually have um, a YouTube channel. I didn't have that bookmark, but let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they got a YouTube channel. It's at Exodus Cry, and I'll just drop it down below. That's the I just got loud. You guys probably couldn't hear it because I'm not going through OBS today. Um, Anything else? What am I going to talk about? This cat is rubbing me like crazy. Must be really hungry, huh? Come here. Oh, you're gonna get shy now? You're gonna walk out the door? The dog wants some attention though. Ugh. It's not even my cat. He just comes in here asking me for food. All right. On that note, what else did I want to talk to you? Oh man, yeah, the Your Brain on Porn had posted this morning a New York Post article. I hate posting links to the compost. I hate doing it. Oh gosh. But it's talking about men and erectile dysfunction, and which is a topic that is right up uh, Your Brain on Porn's subject matter. And it's talking about statistics. One 2020 study found that 20% of men who use porn often are under the age of 35. Young men who should be under sexual prime reported having erectile dysfunction with partners. And, I had ED. I had a little bit of ED issues. It wasn't a consistent problem for me, even though I was a huge porn user. There were times where I was trying to be intimate with my wife where it wasn't happening. And here's the part that really sucks is that I had to think about porn even to get aroused. Yeah. I might make a video on that one day. It's difficult to write about something or to make a video on a subject like that. Um, but there was a couple of times where that had happened, either that or during active sex. In order to, sometimes I would get aroused, but I couldn't have an orgasm unless I was thinking about porn. Um, yeah, it's pretty horrible, man. It's definitely a subject I don't want to bring up with my wife, right? I during the times that it was happening, I would say, I'm kind of tired. And sometimes that was true, but the reality is that I was so in that habit loop that the only way I knew how to get aroused was through pornography. Just having a person there in the flesh who wanted to have sex with me wasn't enough. Crazy, right? Crazy. Anyway, well, I don't see any. It's good talking with everybody this morning. I'm glad you guys tuned in. Um, no, I didn't talk to my wife about that specific. I had to come clean with everything else. Thanks, JR. And I had to come clean with everything else because of my arrest. I had to talk about the porn addiction. You know, um, there's some things, and this comes as a sponsor. As a person who has to sponsor other people. Um, we talk about this often that while it's good, especially during when you're trying to make amends with people, it's good to talk about a lot of things. There's some things you should probably take off of the plate because it could actually cause more harm than good to them. And when you're trying to make that decision, you have to weigh everything you know about the person. And I could probably at this stage, because it's been behind us for a while, if I wanted to, I could talk to her about that. And my wife's a pretty forgiving person, but I keep going through doing the deconstruction on that one, and I'm just saying to myself, what good's going to happen from it? Um, I might feel that there's a certain weight off of my shoulders, but um, I still worry about knowing who my wife is and knowing that she's having she's getting to an age now where perceptions about herself, and she's had some self-esteem issues, that it would probably do more harm than good And so I'm not going to touch that. For me, it seems like a third rail, and I can't rationalize how it's going to help her out in any way. So why go there? Um, yeah. So that's my take on it. But for those guys who want to have that talk, especially if you're like a young couple and you're experiencing ED, and and it's been harming your relationship, if you want to have that conversation, go for it. I would actually encourage you. But if like, um, let's just say that your partner was experiencing like either bulimia or self-esteem issues, or you know anything where there's a lot of personal harm going on in that person because of the way they're feeling, and because they feel like maybe they're not getting attention from their partner. Maybe putting a certain barrier that says, I'm not going to talk about, you know, how I was fantasizing about somebody else while trying to get with you. It's probably not the best approach to have that conversation. Maybe keep it a bit higher level and just say, I've been dealing with a lot of problems, and I think you know the intimacy that we've been having. I've been having some problems with that because I was dealing with my porn addiction. You know, that's the way I dealt with it. And in other words, rather than trying to make anything about, you know, it's all about me. It's all about me. I'm working on this. I'm working on being a better person. I hope that makes sense. Uh, yeah. So anyway, good article. I'm glad to see that it went up. Oh, and they put Dr. Weiss on here. I didn't even see this in the article. So I was looking at this on my phone. This is the New York Post article. I did not see that I've been chatting on and off with Dr. Weiss over the years, online. Um, he's a good guy, man. I wish I could get him on my YouTube channel. I really like his approach on things. He's working his own practice out, and he's either in Florida or California. I can't remember, but he's fantastic. That's actually a pretty stand up dude. Um, and if you ever want to see or hear him. He started doing something I didn't like, which was on his. He used to be on Twitter. He would always post his blogs directly on there, and now he's starting to do more self promotion through his blogs. But in the old days, man, he would just like type something out, just throw it out onto Twitter, and like, oh, you are awesome. He still does it. You have to look. There's like a blog link that's on there, but Rob Weiss, and you'll see once in a while I'll comment on him on Twitter. But he's a good guy. Uh, could it be a selfish thing? You think putting your want of the weight off your shoulders over their stability? Yeah, yeah, I think it could. And there's certainly, I think that's why sometimes you have to have a good sponsorship. Maybe there's some guys who um, pull off. Sorry, dumb joke. There's some guys who can do recovery by themselves. I don't recommend it, man. And sometimes having a sponsor, somebody you can bounce ideas off, especially when it comes to matters like, trying to make reconciliations. Having a talk with somebody who knows about addiction before you make those decisions to reach out to other people can be amazing. Like my sponsor cold stop. Oh, I should talk about this. My sponsor cold stopped me from doing a lot of apologies to people. He was like, "No, you shouldn't do that," because I had it inside of my mind like, I got to do this. I got to apologize to all these people. I caused a lot of harm. Blah blah blah. And my sponsor just was like, "Whoa there! Wait a second. Let's just talk this one out." And we sat down at a diner one day, and we just went through every single iteration of what a person could possibly say, think, feel, and just I'm not going to say it's necessarily selfishness that you want to go out and engage. Sometimes it could be, but sometimes in general, that more harm can be facilitated by having that conversation than good can be arrived. Um, you know, Reconciliation isn't always going to happen as a result of and people are sometimes fast tracked. They want that reconciliation because it feeds sometimes feeds their sense of recovery. And let's just say that there's another side to this. Sometimes you have to recognize that there's going to be things that you will never reconcile, and that's okay too. but it's good to have a third party to talk to before you go causing more damage. Yeah. Always get a sponsor. If you're not in a 12-step program and you can't get a sponsor, at least get like a, what they call a recovery buddy. And as much as you possibly can, interact with that recovery buddy about what you think you're going to do, especially if it's in terms of, like, next steps inside of whether it's a 12-step program or just in general, just like, yeah, I caused a lot of damage, I was thinking about doing this, what do you think? Just having a conversation before you act out. If you don't have that, even talking to a therapist, a lot of licensed therapists like Mr. Weiss here, um, they'll they'll actually go out and help you with that process. Most of them are really good with that because they facilitate group interactions and help families rebuild. Always good to have a third party to talk to. All right, fellas, I am getting towards 9 and I gotta jump, so I'm glad that you all tuned in. Thank you for participating. um yeah, you too, Jaren. Hope you have a good day. Stay safe out there. All right, have a good day, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop me a comments below, or reach out to me through Twitter, and feel free to email me road to recovery 11 at yahoo.com. Stay safe and stay on that road to recovery. See ya.